What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, man. This is the last iOS 13 review that I'm ever going to do. Just kidding. This is probably the last one for today, but we're going to take a look at iOS 13 and see how it pretty much runs on the iPhone 10. Now, I would say about 99% of the features that iOS 13 brought are pretty much associated with the iPhone 10. Even though it came out in 2017, even though it's almost 2 years old, this phone will definitely stand the test of time because of the design, because of the hardware within it. So this is definitely not an old phone, and that really goes to show with the way Apple is supporting this device and the amount of features that this thing will get and still is getting right now. So one cool thing is that Face ID is now 30% faster. So I don't even have Face ID on this phone, but I don't even have Face ID enabled on this phone, but that is now 30% faster, which is so freaking cool. And another cool thing is actually app download speeds are now 50% smaller and updates are now 60% smaller. So that is a humongous thing right there. Now, one of the main things people were so stoked about with iOS 13 was definitely dark mode. Okay, so now we do have dark mode on all devices, and obviously the iPhone 10 is supported, and it is actually pure darkness. So it's not dark gray or anything. So all these pixels are now black. If you go into the App Store and most of the system apps, they are completely black, which is so cool. So you don't need to be jailbroken anymore in order to get some sort of dark mode on it. Safari, different things like that. They're not necessarily like darkening the whole entire image, but they're definitely darkening the top and bottom bars, so it looks like you're just on private mode. So that is definitely one of the coolest features ever. But I think my favorite feature of iOS 13 would probably be the new keyboard. So we now have a swipe functionality with this keyboard, which is so awesome. And this is the type of functionality that I was using purposely with Gboard, and it was literally the only reason I was using Gboard was because of the swipe functionality. But now it makes no sense to use it, so I'll probably end up using it on my main device without using a third-party keyboard. And the Force Touch still works. I've seen a lot of complaints of people saying that it does not work with the swipe functionality. Obviously, if you don't have like a Force Touch device, maybe it won't work, but haptic feedback should work, and this works 100%. So the Reminders app got a little bit of a refresh as well. Not a crazy thing, but definitely something cool if you're into that. Maps also got a refresh, but I think one of the coolest things was the privacy update. So we now have a bit of more of a secure device. So iOS has always been a pretty much secure device overall, but Apple really took it upon themselves to make things so much more personal and make sure that apps don't have like information that they should necessarily have. So that is definitely one of the coolest things right there. Another awesome thing is within the volume HUD. So they did switch it up on us. They did change it. As you can see, it's a little bit different, and obviously it's a humongous change. It's not all like straight up in your face all the time. And the cool thing is that if you actually go and change it for the first time, you can actually go and change the volume right here too. So you can go grab it and put the volume up and down right there, which is so cool. And it's literally just like a smaller version of the control center thing just right there. So that's one of the coolest things ever. Another humongous change is actually within Photos. So this is pretty much what the Photos app looks like now. You can go zoom into Photos and you can go zoom out to Photos just like that too. So that's really cool. It makes your device just that much better. I remember seeing this on like older Android devices, but now Apple actually implemented it into their devices. So that's so awesome. And the editing of these apps looks a little bit different too. So as you can see, not the standard one. We do have the same exact features, but they're just more additional features on top of it, and we have so many more settings, and it's definitely a really cool thing they did. The screenshot thing also changed up a little bit too, a little bit more settings there. And also we're now able to rotate videos within our iPhone, so we don't need to go port it over to a MacBook or anything. We now have all that functionality on our iPhones, which is so cool. Now, this last thing I want to hit on is actually within the control center. So more specifically, this Wi-Fi Bluetooth toggle right there. So now when we're here, we can now actually change the settings of our Wi-Fi or Bluetooth devices straight up from the control center. So all we have to do is just force touch onto Wi-Fi, and you can see we can change up whatever we want to, and we can do the same exact thing with Bluetooth as well. And this is literally so freaking cool. I literally love this so much. You can still change these things within settings too, but it's just a little bit more flexible in my opinion. So that's definitely one of the coolest things right there. Now, I did run a benchmark, and this is the score I got right now, 257,393. So it's not like the craziest score ever, but it's definitely really, really high, even for an iPhone 10. I mean, this is not like a slow device at all. If you're over 100,000 on an iPhone, I think that's pretty respectable. So this is definitely not slow. It definitely has not gotten slower in my opinion, but it probably will be quite a bit glitchy. So for most of you people, I would not recommend updating to iOS 13. I would definitely stay where you're at. There's no reason to update yet, especially because you have to be a developer this time around. But overall, I'll definitely tell you I like it a lot. All the features and everything are cool. I just hope they focus on stability. If they can focus on the stability, then we're going to be set. It's going to be a super amazing update, but that is pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, till then.